Hello, I'm Antonio Mora. This is the newsandnews.com Day in Brief. Today's top stories in 4 minutes. It's Thursday, August 2nd at 7 p.m. The heads of National Intelligence, FBI, NSA, Homeland Security, and National Security Council took to the podium in an extraordinary White House press briefing. In no uncertain terms, they said American democracy is under attack, that our democracy itself is in the crosshairs, and that Russia attempted to interfere in the last election and continues to do so to this day with a pervasive messaging campaign to try to weaken and divide the United States. They also said President Trump had specifically directed them to make the matter of election meddling and securing our election process a top priority. The question that raises, of course, is why is it so hard for the president himself to admit what his national security team just did? The security chiefs also tried to reassure Americans that a vast government-wide effort was underway to protect the elections, that Russia's campaign does not have the same intensity as in 2016, and that voting systems are more secure than in the past. But Director of National Intelligence Dan Coats said he is still not in a position to either understand or fully talk about what happened in the private meeting between Trump and Vladimir Putin in Helsinki. Separately, negotiations are ongoing in Special Counsel Mueller's effort to secure an interview with Trump. Mueller has indicated he's willing to reduce the number of questions he'd pose, but he still wants to ask about obstruction of justice, which may have triggered Trump's outburst against the Mueller investigation. That said, Trump has reportedly pushed his lawyers to cut a deal so he can sit for an interview, even though their advice is that he shouldn't. Emails show Trump's least favorite FBI agent, Peter Strzok, insisted on preserving his FBI powers before joining the Mueller team. That included declassifying documents, something even he admitted was problematic. Strzok's demands were approved. Our obsessing with iPhones, iPads, and Macs has made Apple the first U.S. company with a market capitalization of $1 trillion. I'm old enough to remember when $1 billion is a big deal. Our obsession with ordering stuff through Amazon is likely to soon make Jeff Bezos' company the second to hit $1 trillion. Pope Francis has changed the Catholic Church's teaching on the death penalty to make it inadmissible. The Vatican called it an evolution of church doctrine that didn't contradict prior teaching, but rather was an evolution of it. St. Thomas Aquinas might disagree. But if the church's teaching can evolve on this, it might be harder to argue that it shouldn't evolve on other topics, such as women priests and divorce. In our daily alternate universes segment, The Great Divide Between Conservative and Liberal Media, the issue of bias in fact-checking was plainly evident on CNN's New Day. In a so-called reality check on Trump's tweet demanding that Sessions end the Mueller probe, they first stated as fact that Mueller is not guilty of anything that would allow termination of the probe. They then said the tweet would seem to be obstruction of justice, and that the Mueller probe was neither rigged nor a witch hunt. They added, there's an increasingly desperate edge to screaming witch hunt, and compared Trump to Nixon and Watergate. Is that fact-checking or opinion? On New Day's competition, Fox and Friends, the cheerleading for Trump goes on at what often are nausea-inducing levels. But Fox News has labeled that show as opinion, not news. CNN has yet to do that for any of its shows. Finally, I was glad to learn today that I and other members of the media are no longer enemies of the people. That's according to Ivanka Trump, who contradicted her dad at an Axios forum. One can only hope she'll convince the president to avoid using a term well liked by Joseph Stalin and Mao Zedong to justify killing people. You can find all those stories and much more updated around the clock 7 days a week on newsandnews.com, where you will find all you need to know in one place. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the right of your screen just below this video, and please follow us on Facebook at Real News and News, and follow me on Twitter at AMoraTV. I'll see you again tomorrow.